Doc.
Welcome, my friend Dave. Come on in.
Oh man, Ask the Doc. This is the office, man. It's awesome.
This is the new office.
This is the new office.
Wow, almost completely new.
Wow. Very
Don't mind
cool.
some of the mess. We're still getting some of the technical stuff done, but yeah, this is the new place.
It's a big place, much bigger than the past office, the old one.
You want to know my thinking about the big?
Tell me.
Well, when you're in the doctor's office, what do? When you're in the doctor's real office, you're focused on the consult and you don't care about the surroundings as much. But while you're twiddling your thumbs, wondering why that late son of a gun hasn't gotten to you yet, we wanted to have a little bit more pleasant environment.
Nice.
That's why we're still tweaking the TV over here. And,
That's awesome.
So on and so forth. But yeah, plenty of fresh water and hopefully much nicer environs.
So you got something really cool here. You got to show me this.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why the lights aren't coming on here. I guess because the ladies have left.
The girls are gone. Yeah, it's after hours.
Anyway, yeah, if you want to do some therapeutic stuff, we've got the cryotherapy machine in here.
Ah, look at that.
The top of the line U.S. cryotherapy unit. This is not a nitrogen unit. This is obviously full body, plenty of room, not too crowded. We've got the, once you hop out of there, you can warm up in the infrared sauna.
Holy cool.
Yeah, so good therapy here in California, where we don't have much change in season. We automatically have it right here.
You get summer and winter right next to each other. That's awesome. You use it, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I get here early enough, well, these days, quite frankly, because it's been cold in Malibu, I live up in the hills.
Yeah.
The pool, I checked today, the pool said it was 36. I got to check the thermometer.
Oh, jeez.
So after I do my workout, I can jump in and get the plunge, but certainly before I leave, I can get it here too.
Nice.
Our just basic, our exam room.
Yep.
And
Very
we got our PT room.
It's so much more spacious than it was before. I don't know if, some of the people who actually have been here, but this is like a big step up.
Well, no, we want to make it one-stop shopping so people can come in and get everything you need for two reasons. Not so I can just garner the market on all we're doing, but what happens when you give somebody a card or say, hey, here's a number to call.
Yep.
If they call at all, it's like 6 months later. Here,
Yep.
you can just walk down the hall and say, here's Daisy Lang, who's one of the physical therapists.
Oh,
we have
she's
here.
great. The boxer,
she's great.
your friend, the
Yeah,
boxer.
world
Yeah, she's
champion,
awesome.
lady world champion boxer and kickboxer.
So she's in here now. That's awesome.
She was trained in Germany. Got about 6 years of training there in physical therapy, and
she trains
pretty strict
Schwarzenegger.
course.
I don't know if I'm about to say.
She trains with him, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, small world.
Wow.
But she does a lot of physical therapy in here, and she is great. Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. Very nice.
And we have hyperbaric oxygen down the way. We've got VO2 max testing here. We've got apheresis room where we can extract stem cells from the blood once we've mobilized them. We've got IV therapy room. We've got an OR.
Wow.
Probably don't want to see all this stuff, but
No,
anyway,
it's great.
we're getting there. This is
Very
more
interesting.
just, we've got stacks and stacks of stuff in here. We're getting ready for the grand opening soon.
When is the grand opening?
Good question.
Okay.
I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I want to make sure everything looks just like it's supposed to be dialed
Yeah.
in. But, for spring, which is right around
It's now.
yesterday.
Yeah.
But sometime during spring, we'll have a grand opening.
Very cool. Well, we'll keep you guys posted. Thanks for giving us a tour, Doc.
My pleasure.
All right, Doc. So this is exciting. This is the actually first time that we are shooting Ask the Doc for Jay Cutler TV. The previous two episodes you saw, guys, were just what I had left, when I was shooting with the previous company I was with. So this is very cool, Doc, because what I wanted to do today, aside from giving a little tour of your office that we just saw, is kind of go back to the beginning, which is now going to be, get this August, 4 years where we started Ask the Doc. Can you believe it? 4 years in August.
Only because I am terrible with time, but boy, it's hard to believe. Really. Yeah.
The time has been going like
4
this.
years, really?
I can't believe it. Yeah, it's going to be 4 years in August that we started this. And the reason why we started this show, and this is what I want to talk about in this episode, is basically I was working. I was started working for a new company, which was Muscle Insider at the time, and I was looking for good content. And you and I have been friends for years now. And I always enjoy coming to see you and asking you questions and picking your brain, because you've been always very grateful with your time and with your knowledge, and you never just shortchange me on answering my questions. So I figured, what a great concept to have someone like you as a friend, where I can actually just go and ask questions on things that I'm passionate about, which would be obviously bodybuilding, which kind of lead into a lot of what you do. So I want to tell people why we decided to start this show, Ask the Doc, and the series, which is hugely popular, and it's going to be even more so now. So I came to you and I said, would you be willing 4 years ago, to start this new show called Ask the Doc, where people would be able to send real questions from real people, from real fans from all over the world, and answer them honestly on your best of your knowledge. And you said, yeah, let's do it. So we did, and it's taken off. It's very, very, very popular, and people really appreciate the fact that you're so candid and so honest on your answer. So I want to go back a little bit and tell people where you came from, and then how you got started in this whole HRT and TRT and rejuvenation clinic, and you built this very nice place for yourself, and you've been helping people for years now. So take me back a little bit. And this is not where you started. You actually were an actor at one point. You were doing numbers. You were an accountant, and then now you are here today. So take me back a little bit and tell me how this whole thing started.
Well, first of all, I got started with you because you asked me to. Like you said, yeah. And I didn't realize what a great idea it was.
It's a great idea. You're famous now. This guy goes to gold, and I'm telling you, he cannot work out. Every person goes to see him. I love the show. You're a rock star over there. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. This was your idea, and thankfully, again, you didn't have to talk me into it, did you? But it has become pretty popular. I do see patients that have seen the show and are appreciative of the information we disseminate. I didn't really think twice about it, just again because you asked me, but also I guess when you're on this side in medicine, you don't think about, well, of course we have answers for that, and of course if you go to the right doctor, I guess they'll talk about it, but I guess it's mainly just been limited to the office, and of course we have technology now, so it's all come into place, and I'm glad that the show is appreciated, and it gets to a lot of people that want to have these particular questions answered. And it sounds like we have a great new home in Jay Cutler's family.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For the video, so I'm happy to keep going with it. And briefly, this is my 9th career.
Really?
Everything from acting and stunts, as you mentioned. But before that, it was I came out of school as an accountant, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. Dad was an accountant. I was too busy with sports and dating, shall we say, to really hunker down and make too many decisions. Said, hey, let's just keep going and go to college. But accounting had its value. But then there was Chinese medicine. I worked, as a lifeguard. I worked a lot of different jobs. But anyway, I used to make clothing. But anyway, wow. This is my favorite job. This is the last one, and I actually always wanted to do something in medicine, because one of the first books I ever read was Adele Davis's nutrition books when I was 11. One of the books that you didn't have to read, Dick and Jane Run or whatever. And I was fascinated by the fact that we could manipulate our bodies and our well-being with nutrition. So anyway, that's got me started. That's about as much as you're gonna get out of me. And then today I get to practice what I love, and really it's kind of double dipping for me, because I do this not only for patients, but I do it for me. I'm fascinated by this stuff, as you are, mm-hmm. And I love the fact that we can do so many things in medicine, and it's only accelerating. What we can do in the next 10 years will eclipse what we've done in the last 100 years easily, because we're already matching numbers like that. The knowledge base is growing logarithmically, and we're working with companies. I guess I can say the name. Vitalix is a company I'm working with right now, where we're using augmented intelligence to really ramp up our knowledge base using databases that we have access to now. We can start putting things together, correlative data, to come up with new protocols and new associations with this, that, and the other. And of course, with the data processing equipment like my iWatch and my Oura Ring, this is definitely not for looks. And the polar monitors, the Garmin, all that kind of stuff. We can integrate these things with software and come up with even more cutting edge technologies and solutions to problems that we never had. And that includes, not even some. I mean, I of course have a penchant for the sports stuff. But
I was gonna say, you are, and you've worked out your whole entire life, So when you got into medicine, you said what they're teaching in school as far as hormone replacement therapy and staying young is very, very minimal. So you decided to decided to actually focus on that because you had a personal interest into it.
Yeah, and of course, I live in a bubble in the sense that the people who come to see me are fairly like-minded. So that's all I see, and thank God that's what I get to see.
Yeah.
Is people want to optimize health. But yeah, I mean, there's a few exceptions. A good friend of mine. Do you know Joe? Big Joe, the boxer.
I'm sure by it.
Well, his
face.
mom came in, and she was on like 26 different medicines from her, HMO doc, and that was fun getting her off. We got her down to 4.
Wow.
2 of which she eventually got rid of because they were for DVTs, which I mean, long story, but
wow. So
yeah.
your range, the age of the age range of your clients is huge.
I have a great range of patients and all over the place. I mean, we can do a lot of consultations by Skype. I have no complaints about that, but I would have a complaint about the people that a lot of other doctors unfortunately have to see that are sick on 26 medications
mm-hmm.
and really could care less and want 4 more because really unbeknownst to them they believe it's easier, but it's really not.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, no, to focus on the positive. I got interested in this because at one point I remember I was driving across country and I was expecting my first child and thinking, okay, this is it, man. You got to settle down now. You got to focus. And I said, what have I always wanted to do? Let's do medicine. So that's what I'm doing now. And again, we're focused on sports and regenerative medicine, and that's what I do. And it's wide open. I mean, just regenerative medicine alone. Sports, there's a lot of cross application, obviously, with sports and regenerative medicine, but with regenerative medicine, man, we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming down the road, and it makes for, not to get on a soapbox here, but for the collaborative effort is much more necessary than it ever has been before, because we're branching out. There's so much new stuff and so much data that we need to collect. We need to start sharing it and that's where the augmented intelligence is going to sort of force some of that mechanically, literally through a machine, through software engineering, etc. But there's so much to learn. One person needs to specialize in this and share his specialty with the other person specializing in this or persons, because we're gathering so much new information and new technology and new ways to cure and help. I mean, I could go on and on with examples of things where I'll talk to a doctor about, ENOX2 proteins. Most doctors, what is that? Well, only fetal cells and cancer cells produce ENOX2 proteins. And yet you ask most doctors, do we have a way to detect cancer in the blood? They say, well, we've got a PCA3, for prostate cancer, and we've got the BRCA test and some other blood tests. There's a smattering of them to test for this, that, and the other. But this tests for 26 different cancers.
Wow.
And no one knows about the Oncoblot. It's not a plug for anything. I have no stock in the company, but it's just in case people want to look it up. And examples like that where, because medicine is a business. Again, I don't mean to get on a soapbox here,
mm-hmm.
but it's largely driven by insurance. There are things that are sort of passed down because that's the business way of doing it, or that particular insurance company way of doing it, the most economical for the masses, and a lot of things get tossed aside because of it. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's the way it is. I'm just observing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's not out there. That just because that's what's recommended by the HMO, that's all there is. There are a lot of different new ways to diagnose,
mm-hmm.
new tools with which we can make diagnoses, and just as importantly, a lot of new cures and treatments,
right? Certainly,
and cures for a lot of these things.
And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. The reason why we started to do Ask the Doc and do the show is to give people a platform where they could actually feel free to ask questions they've always had. This is not a show where people can send question, hey Dr. Ren, do me a cycle for mass, do me a cycle for leaning out for competition. That's never been the intent. We're here basically, some people have illness, some people have injuries, some people have had nagging things they've had for years, and they can't talk to because of the country they're from, or the insurance systems they're on, whatever. They can't really feel free to ask the question they want to ask, and that's why we want to do the show, because they know that by now, to the best of your ability, of your knowledge, you'll be able to answer them as truthfully as possible, and that's why we're doing the show. I mean, why are you doing the show?
No, that's a great segue.
Right?
What I was just saying. There's so much information out there, and using technology, An example is I got a Skype from Ireland the other day, and he had been able to do some research because of technology, the internet, obviously, and then found out that he wasn't going to get the answers from the physicians, at least in his area. I can't say the entire country or whatever, but he had gone out in his area and was getting some pretty funny answers from doctors, or just general resistance. Even addressing the topic we were discussing.
Right.
So this makes it pretty cool because, again, we can keep up with the advancements in technology with this sort of dissemination of information using technology. So that's, again, my purpose was, because we're buddies, you asked me for a favor, and I said, sure, let's do it. But as we continue to do this, and as I think about it, and what I'm noticing is, and what I feel like I'm participating in through this venture is, it's spreading the wealth, man, of knowledge.
That's great.
This is fun.
How did this guy find you in Ireland?
Probably off one of these videos. Absolutely.
I love it. Yeah. This is so cool, man. It's so great, and people are very grateful, and you guys are really good about telling us thank you all the time about doing the show, and we appreciate it. I mean, we do it for you guys. We do it because it's good content. But the fact that that you're actually helping some people out there makes it all worthwhile. And this is not about money. Dr. Ryan's not getting paid for this. When we get together and we shoot for about an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time, I don't get extra money. He doesn't get extra money. We're doing it because it's good content, and we love helping you guys, and we appreciate you participating. So this is what I wanted to do with this first episode of Ask the Doc on Shake Out the TV. Doc, I really appreciate it, man.
No, I appreciate it too. It's turned out great.
Thank you so much.